could never, ever envision this.
It's the shocking conclusion of The Bachelor.
I just need the truth at this point.
I hope we see the happy ending that he so deserves.
So you regret what you did?
Yeah.
Are you in love with Peter?
I do believe things happen for a reason. I believe that when you find true love, it will always rise above all.
There's something I just found out.
What?
Jeremy, this was ridiculous.
My heart
Here
hurts.
to break
My heart's
down
confused.
night 2 of the Bachelor finale is hosted PeopleTV's reality check, Darren Karp, and Bachelor alum Kayla Quinn. Ladies, you look amazing. I like the eyeshadow.
I'm bringing it out for you. I'm trying to match your dress. I'm trying to compliment Kayla. I'm just trying to look like some semblance of a woman. Some semblance of Barb at any given point.
Oh my gosh.
Channeling
Yes.
Barb.
Yes.
There's so much to talk about. Let's go back to the beginning. So Chris Harrison drops this bombshell that Hannah Ann might not show up to the final rose ceremony, and she's at her breaking point. I mean, Peter gets really upset. Is he upset about the idea of not having Hannah Ann to propose to, or just not having anyone? What do you think?
I think he's upset about like not having
Anyone
at all. Exactly. I feel like he just wants to feel loved, and he's been rejected by many a woman at this point. So
I think he was so excited to feel like he finished his chapter and did everything appropriately, which is why I think he proposed to Hannah Ann in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just really wanted to get down on one
I think
knee
that's
and
a
make
cruel,
that statement.
cruel trick by producers to be like, she might not be.
But she did. But why do you think she eventually did come?
I think she wanted to come because she wanted an answer. Like, is she the one? You know?
I think
Wait, was she ever really not coming at all? Or was it just like, she's running late and Chris is like, she might not be here? Like,
There's no chance that anyone, and maybe Kayla, you can speak better to this, there's no chance that she was just like gonna be like, you know what, he second guessed it, I'm just gonna throw in the towel. Like, of course you're gonna go show up, of course you wanna see how it happens.
Yeah.
I think she was afraid of being rejected, and that's why she was taking a moment.
at that point, though, the most she knew was that, like, he, like any other Bachelor in history, was like, oh, I'm torn because it's down to the final 2, and this is the show, and it's always like that at this point. I don't know. I just felt like that was an unnecessary, like, oh no, what's gonna, I don't know.
We didn't get a lot of story arc.
No, we did not.
We did not get a lot of
But let's move on. So he proposes to Hannah Ann.
Yes.
I guess, Darren, let me ask you this. What are your feelings about the fact that he, you know, maybe felt like she wasn't the number one choice? Should he have proposed at that moment?
He should not have proposed. First off, and Kayla and I were talking about this before, he mentions Madison in the proposal. I don't know any woman in my life that would want another woman being mentioned in a proposal.
Well, but it was his way of
That's just
quickly
me.
overshadowing, like, oh, I addressed it, like, kind of addressed the Madison thing,
Well, he's
and
like,
then move on.
I love you. Madison left 2 days ago. Ergo, I'm gonna propose to you. You're like, what? Like, this
But
is
also, I feel like he wanted to make his mother happy. Like, you see her
Yes.
just like watching this proposal, like on the edge of her couch, and at the
Yes.
same time with that validation, he probably was like, you know what? Moms are usually right, so this is probably the best move.
Yeah.
So then, I was gonna say, a month later, Hannah Ann and Peter meet back together. I guess they hadn't seen each other for like a month. I don't know what exactly they were
I think,
doing.
they said 3 months or something like that. I was like, really?
That was totally staged.
But that's
Yeah.
when, so he reveals he's struggling, still has feelings for Madison. Peter
Right.
broke it off with Hannah Ann. She's rightfully angry, and you saw Hannah Ann come alive. I was so proud of her in this
It was the
moment.
only time we saw her personality the entire season. We never saw her be fiery. I have no idea what she's about.
I think that's an edit thing, not her.
I think it is.
I'm sure
I mean,
she had moments that we didn't see.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, I barely watched the episode because the entire time I was just watching the bottom left-hand corner for Barb
yeah.
the entire time. I know. Especially when she was coughing. I like wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
'cause I was like, what's Barb thinking?
Yeah.
But you could tell Hannah Ann and Peter were talking over those past few weeks, or probably had interactions, and they probably did try to make their engagement work. But at the end of the day, Peter wasn't over the last relationship, and so they had to have that, I don't want to say staged moment, but closure for audiences.
Yeah.
And so Hannah Ann probably had time to think about her reaction.
Yeah, and her saying that Peter needs to be a man and Barb clapping. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
No, I mean, okay, but also it was interesting that Hannah Ann mentioned that he said that he had to get over Hannah B.
Oh, yeah.
And Maddie. Like, she said that,
She said,
right?
I should have known. It was a red flag from the start. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, it was so early on. Like, that was, the first 3 episodes
Yeah.
of it? Like, there wasn't a lot of closure there. Hannah B had a really bad season, I would say. Like, she didn't luck out with that.
There's no doubt about it, though. They sat down for that live interview with Chris Harrison. It was fiery. Hannah Ann gave it to him.
Oh,
like,
I loved
she,
it. Yeah,
she was
served
ready and even said, like, you need to figure out how to be a real man, and that's when you can move on. They obviously have some real healing today.
Barb was salivating over
Well, Barb was
all of it.
salivating over that moment, but she's like ready to go home with Hannah Ann instead of Peter. But
She really was, by the way.
over
Like,
it.
she was so into Hannah Ann that I was like, you know, this girl's like 23 and like dating your son, and it's so involved.
But how are they going to heal, or do they need to heal? I'm talking about Hannah Ann and Peter. Or is there any future here, or is that it?
I mean, I'll put it this way. I feel like Hannah Ann's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like, she's 23, she's gorgeous, she stuck up for herself. Like, she was really like a fan favorite, I think, through a lot of this. Like, she'll be okay.
I think we'll maybe see her on Bachelor in Paradise.
Totally. Oh,
yes.
she'll be the queen of the whole beach.
Yeah, I think
all
it was
the
Nick
guys are gonna be
Vile
going
or
for
someone
her.
that tweeted, said like she's going to have a fun time on the beach. Let's just get ready.
So then Chris Harrison goes and actually visits Madison in Alabama, and he didn't tell Peter that he was going. I mean, were you shocked to see Chris Harrison kind of show up? I mean, she admits that she still loves Peter. Why did Chris think this was so important for him to do?
I think
Chris believes in love.
Chris
I actually think that he wants the contestants to succeed.
He does.
I think he wants them to find.
Well, when you know, there's couples that have a happy ending, it's still in the press. Like The Bachelor does well, they're considered successful, and so you don't want to have like a wasted season where Peter doesn't end up with anybody.
He was trying to save the
Also, it was clear that Peter had such feelings for Madison that I think either one of them would have regretted not coming back together.
Yeah.
I think Chris wanted to be that glue.
So then we see Madison obviously comes to LA, walks out, there they are, they have this big moment. It was weird because Peter didn't fully say what they are now. He said like, yeah, like we want to move forward. What do you think their relationship can look like moving forward off of the show, off camera?
I mean, as someone, and Darren's in a relationship as well, if your in-laws don't give you their blessing or don't like you, it's very difficult to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think the religion is actually more important than even the family's approval because I mean, the thing that I didn't really like about that is that Barb and the dad, I don't even know the dad's name because I'm so focused on Barb.
Peter Sr.
Is that I'm just like obsessed with her. They met at the vow renewal, like episode 1. So like they had a great first impression of her. So I'm not really sure where the negative energy was coming from. I think the fact that they were disappointed he didn't pick Hannah Ann.
Yeah, well, Peter's mom, I mean, she spoke up about why she feels off about Madison, and she did not hold back. So let's take a look at this clip.
When I proceeded to ask her if she was madly in love with my son, she said no, and that she would not accept a proposal in 4 days. So how do you expect a mother who loves her son with all of her heart to take that? Therefore, when I said that I wanted Hannah Ann so badly was because I knew that she's just the Isha to us. We just clicked right away. We did not have, unfortunately, we did not have the connection with Madison.
You know, I started out in the Barb hive, and then by the end of it, I was like, ooh, it's getting a little weird.
Yeah.
She also added that Peter has to fail to succeed.
Which was horrible.
She doesn't see them working out. I mean, what were your thoughts? Are these feelings justified?
I think she is being a protective mother, but she's also not putting her son first because she's putting herself first.
Yeah.
She's saying that Hannah Ann is the better fit, so you need to do what I want for you. And the fact that she's just not saying like whatever Peter wants is what I want is probably a bad move.
It's a problem. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't want to like project onto what a parent should feel. But at the same time, yes, it's important that your child's significant other loves you and respects you. But it also really matters what your child thinks of the significant other. Like his feelings matter. His feelings have to be the #1 priority to his own mother.
Yeah,
totally.
Not anybody else.
Real quick,
been
final
so
thoughts. What do we think of how the season wrapped up and everything?
Disappointing. I feel like it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
We wanted a happy ending, and because Peter was kind of indecisive, and he should have not had sex with anybody in the fantasy suites to give them a real chance.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I actually liked the ending in terms of I think it shows a lot of real life getting in the way, and it's not just a matter of, you know, like you're attractive, we fall in love. Like religion matters and family opinions matter, and this is kind of the first finale we've seen with that happening.
Yeah.
So I do, as a fan, but also as a person that lives in the real world, appreciate the honesty that was shared.
Yeah,
in
I
the
like that
finale.
too.
I'm excited for the next season. I'm a Claire stan.
Yeah,
so.
let's do
yeah,
it.
for sure. No, she's gonna find real love.
All right, it's been
I
a
really
wild
think so.
ride.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Darren and
for
Kayla,
having
for
us.
breaking things down and for sharing your thoughts.
All right, we're taking a look at our question of the day. We've been asking you what you think was the most shocking part of that finale. Let's take a look.
Looks like
Barbara versus Madison,
yeah.
of course. I'm going to say this. I was really proud of Madison for standing up for herself. She never backed down. I thought she was graceful. But I actually think Barb's right that it's not going to work out.
Yeah, but if I was
it's a wrong, she didn't handle it
can
well.
we just like do this
but,
off camera?
Yeah, no, she shouldn't have said it. She
Jeremy,
didn't.
it's embarrassing.
She did not handle it well, but let's be real, probably not.
Wow, big Barb fan over here.